Water access in the Rogue Valley just took a dramatic turn, and it's not what you might expect. After just 2 days of strict emergency restrictions, Medford Water has lifted the ban on outdoor water use. But here's where it gets controversial. While Medford residents can now resume watering their lawns and washing their cars, other nearby communities are still under tight restrictions. Why the difference? And what does this mean for the future of water management in the region? Originally issued on Tuesday, August 26, 2025, the emergency restrictions were a direct response to a power outage at the Robert A. Duff Water Treatment Plant. The outage, which occurred early Tuesday morning, cut off both utility power and backup generator capabilities, leaving the plant unable to meet the high water demand typical of summer. By Wednesday, at 5:05 p.m., however, Medford Water announced that the restrictions had been lifted. All essential and non-essential use is permitted, the utility stated in a press release. This includes all indoor and all outdoor usage. Officials thanked residents for their cooperation, emphasizing that community compliance played a key role in protecting the drinking water supply during the crisis. But hold on, it's not that simple. Earlier that same morning at 11:40 a.m., Medford Water had indicated that restrictions would remain in place until further notice across the broader Rogue Valley. The utility explained that while the main plant was recovering, continued high water demand, particularly from non-essential outdoor use, could still threaten emergency reserves. So why the sudden change? According to Yvette Finstad, Medford Water's communications coordinator, the situation was primarily a supply issue, not a water quality concern. The power at the water treatment plant is subject to failure due to inclement weather and system conditions, she told the Rogue Valley Times. We do have on-site emergency power generation, which was also impacted in this case. Finstad added that water levels in the system were expected to recover before the original restriction deadline, and that no long-term impacts were anticipated. She also clarified that while the primary water source, Big Butte Springs, remained functional and safe, it alone couldn't meet peak summer demand. That's why during the warmer months, the system is supplemented by water from the Rogue River. Throughout Tuesday and into Wednesday, Medford Water issued detailed guidelines outlining what was and wasn't allowed under the restrictions. Non-essential outdoor water use was strictly prohibited, including all lawn and turf irrigation, watering gardens and ornamental plants, use of ornamental fountains that rely on drinking water, car washing, except at facilities that recycle water, non-emergency use of fire hydrants, including for permits or flushing water mains, dust control at construction sites using water, washing sidewalks, streets, driveways, or buildings, unless required for public health or safety, filling or adding to landscape ponds or swimming pools, any other non-essential outdoor water use. Indoor water use, however, remained fully permitted for essential activities such as drinking, cooking, showering, toilet use, laundry, other necessary indoor tasks. And this is the part most people miss. While Medford customers were eventually given the all clear, the restrictions remained in place for several surrounding communities. These include properties in Central Point, Eagle Point, Phoenix, Talent, Jacksonville, and White City. Ashland, which operates on its own water system, was unaffected, as were residents using private wells or private water systems. Medford Water emphasized that the restrictions were mandatory, not voluntary. The utility also provided a detailed explanation of what caused the outage. This morning, Tuesday, August 26th, 2025, a power failure occurred at a critical point in the electrical system of the treatment plant, preventing the use of either utility or backup power. Pacific Power assisted with safely de-energizing the plant so that crews could begin repairs. As of now, the situation appears to be under control, but it raises important questions. Should water restrictions be applied more uniformly across the region? Is relying on the Rogue River during peak times a sustainable solution? And how can the system be better prepared for future outages? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think the restrictions were handled fairly? Should neighboring cities have been lifted out of restrictions at the same time as Medford? Share your opinion in the comments below, because when it comes to water, every drop counts. For real-time updates, visit medfordwater.org/alerts or contact Medford Water's customer service department at 541-774-2430 during business hours. For after-hours emergencies, call 541-779-7611.